Dear students, we have started second lesson, and in that, as a first part, we discussed fundamental units and derived units. In the second part, in addition to the 7 fundamental physical quantities, we have identified 2 supplementary physical quantities. One was plane angle, another was solid angle, and their respective units, radian and steradian, was discussed. And in the third part, we are going to deal measurement of a distance or length. Now, a distance can be small or large. Therefore, we are first classifying into 2 categories: measuring small distances, measuring large distances. When you want to measure small distances, there are certain apparatus: meter scale, vernier caliper, screw gauges, parameter, like that. Certain apparatus are there. Using the apparatus, you can find the length accurately, directly. So this is one method: small distances measuring directly. What is the second category? Now we have large distances or very large distances. How do we measure? We choose indirect method, and in that again we have 2 types. One is triangular method, another is parallax method. You know very well about triangular method. In your 10th class, in mathematics, trigonometry was there. So making use of trigonometric identities, you have calculated the height of a hill or tower or distance of a tower, like that. Okay. And we will be discussing this in detail. First, let us consider small distances. So, small distances, direct method, mostly used common apparatus. If you go to a cloth merchant, you find meter scale made of inverse steel. And in our lab also we make use of meter scales, make use of made of wooden. You know very well a meter scale. And in our geometry box we have, and it is nothing but a part of a meter scale only. Meter scale, in the meter scale we have scale from 0 to 100 centimeters. In our geometry box it reads from 0 to 15 centimeters. That is the only difference. Now you can see that meter scale also. It is in front of you. Okay. Using this meter scale, what is the minimum distance you can measure? And that is called least count. See, this is the starting point 0. Here 1, 2, 3, like that. So here to here 1 centimeter, and 1 centimeter is divided into 10 equal parts. Each division is 1 millimeter. It means what? The lowest distance you can measure using this meter scale is just 1 millimeter. So let me write here, its least count is 1 millimeter. Milli means 10 power minus 3 meter. It means 1,000th part of a meter. Okay. Next, vernier calipers. Did you see vernier calipers? This is the vernier calipers. This is the vernier calipers. This consists of two scales. See, you can move this to and fro. You can see here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is nothing but our meter scale. This is nothing but our meter scale. This is called main scale. In addition to this scale, we have another scale. Here there are 10 divisions. 9 millimeter distance on main scale is equally divided into 10 parts on vernier scale. So you are having main scale and vernier scale. So making use of these two scales, what is the lowest distance, what is the lowest length you can measure? What is its least count? There is a formula to find its least count. See how it is used to measure. So this is, suppose let us measure the width of our scale. How we measure? Like this we keep like this, and we measure. We make note of main scale reading and vernier scale reading. You have this experiment, then you will know everything. Now, what is its least count? That is our interest. There is a formula to calculate its least count, S by N. S means main scale division value, 1 main scale division. That you already know, 1 division is nothing but 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter by N means number of vernier divisions. There are 10 divisions, no? So milli means 10 power minus 3 meter divided by 10 means 10 power minus 4 meter. It's the least count. See, 10 times sensitive than our meter scale, no? This is only up to 10 power minus 3, but it is up to 10 power minus 4. 10 times sensitive. Similarly, there is another measuring apparatus called screw gauge. Let me show you the screw gauge. This is the screw gauge. This screw gauge is used to measure thickness of glass plate or thickness of wire. See, you can see wire. See, by rotating this, here we put the wire. See, now the wire is kept between the two jaws. Now we take pitch scale reading and head scale reading, and we find the diameter of the wire, the thickness of the wire. You must have understood the wire is very thin, and to measure its thickness, screw gauge must be, its least count must be very much less. It must be accurate than meter scale and vernier calipers. Okay, let us see. Let us calculate its least count. Pitch divided by number of head scale divisions. By rotating this screw through one rotation, this moves through 1 millimeter, that is called pitch. Number of head scale divisions. You can see here head scale division 0, 20, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 90 to 0. These are 10 again. So 90 plus 10, 100. There are 100 head scale divisions. It means, see, 1 millimeter means 10 power minus 3. Here 100 means 10 square. 2 taken upward to the numerator becomes minus 2. Minus 3 minus 2, 10 power minus 5 meter. See, this is more sensitive than vernier calipers. This is more sensitive than vernier calipers. 10 times accurate, 10 times more accurate than vernier calipers. Next, sperometer. This is the sperometer. Have a side view. This is sperometer having 3 legs, and in between there is a screw, and you have a circular scale, and you have a pitch scale on this. On this you can see the readings. This is pitch scale and this is circular scale. This is, see, screw gauge and sperometer. Both work on the same principle, and therefore the formula is same to find least count. Pitch 1 mm by number of head scale. Number of circular division, let us see here. From 0 it has started 10, 20, 30, 40, 70, 80, 90, 90 to 0, 10. So 100. So it is also having 100 circular divisions. It means same. 10 power minus 5 meter. So in this way we are having different apparatus. Whenever more accuracy is required, we make use of screw gauge sperometer, especially thickness, and vernier calipers is used to find length and breadth, and meter scale is mostly used in our daily life. And sperometer, for what purpose a sperometer is used? It is looking a little different, having 3 legs. This sperometer is used to find, see, what is this? Watch glass. This is not a flat glass plate. See, you can see this, it is not flat. It is concave shape. This is a part of spherical shell. It means what? See, just like suppose this is a circle. A part of a circle is called an arc. Similarly, a part of spherical shell. Suppose you have taken a spherical shell, and if you cut like this, you will get the watch glass. And see, for this is the center. So the distance between center and circumference, this is radius, and this is called radius of curvature. And if watch glass is given, you can find the radius of curvature using the sperometer. Okay, this is also there in your lab, in your practicals. Now you got some idea how small distances are measured. Now let us go to the large distances. See, I wrote here indirect method because since they are very large, direct methods won't work. It becomes very difficult to adapt to direct. Suppose you may be having a tape, but sometimes it becomes very difficult. Suppose a hill is there, some 2 or 3 kilometers away from you. It is very difficult to measure from you to the foot of the mountain. Without moving from your place, you can measure how far away it is from you and how high it is. See, that was made possible by making use of trigonometry. You have learned sine, cos, tan and their reciprocals in your 10th class, and you did problems also. And one method is triangular method based on trigonometry. Suppose you are at the seashore. You are standing at A. You have seen a ship far away and you want to find the distance from shore. So what you can do, you at point A you are there, you measure, you select 2 points, point A, point B, with a certain distance, about 100 meters of distance. You select 2 points on beach. From this point, you make how much angle this ship is making at this point. You note the angle. Now you move to the B point by traveling some 100 or 1000 meters. Now from here again you measure what angle this ship is making here. Suppose this is beta. Now see the distance between A and B, that you can measure, that you know, L value. Now making use of alpha angle, beta angle and L value, you are going to find the D value, that is distance of the ship. How you know very well? See, if I write tan alpha here, opposite by adjacent. Similarly, if I write tan beta, opposite by adjacent. See, this is L value, here to here X value, then this value becomes this minus this. So this becomes L minus X, L minus X. So this can be written as, or this can be written as X is equal to D tan alpha. Similarly, move this L minus X to left hand side. Take this tan beta to right hand side. Now, adding these two, X plus L minus X is equal to D by tan alpha plus D by tan beta. Adding these two equations, plus X minus X cancel. So, here that is equal to D can be taken common, 1 by tan alpha plus 1 by tan beta, that is L is equal to, or D is equal to L by 1 by tan alpha plus 1 by tan beta. See, L value you know, alpha beta value you measured, and substituting these values you will be getting the D value, that is distance of the ship from you. So this is triangular method. See, in the civil engineering, this topic is discussed under the heading surveying. In the field they make survey and they make use of this triangular method. One more example, you did problems in your 10th class in trigonometry. This is a high tower or mountain. At a place you will be standing and you measure alpha angle. It's you measure the top of the mountain. Top of the mountain is making an angle alpha at this place. Now what you do? You move some 100 meters towards the mountain, and again you look at the top of the mountain. This time the top of the mountain will be making an angle beta. So making use of L value, alpha and beta, you can find the height of the mountain. So this is the triangular method to find large distances. Okay, now the triangular method is over. There is another method to find large distances. That is called parallax method. This parallax method is very useful in finding very large distances. Suppose you are on earth, you can find the distance of moon from you. So in this way, now we are going to learn parallax method. What is parallax method? On this, you can have an interesting activity in your home. What all you have to do is sit comfortably in a chair and you select a spot on wall, and this is you. You are having two eyes, left eye, right eye, and you will be having a pencil or pen. What all you have to do is close your left eye, look only with the right eye, and you hold the pencil such that its tip and the dot both coincide. In that way you make adjustment. Now what you have to do? Now this time, see, you did all this, you are looking the dot on the wall and pencil tip are coinciding with each other to your right eye. Left eye is closed. Left eye is closed. See, your left eye is closed. Only you are looking with your right eye. Pencil tip, dot, both are coincided. Now you close your right eye and see with left eye. Then you can see your pencil is shifted. Now this time the dot and pencil do not coincide. You can see this is shifted to right side from this line of sight. This is parallax. This is known as parallax. See why this is occurring? The reason is the 2 points of observation are at a distance. The 2 points of observation are at a distance. That's why they did not coincide. So making use of this parallax, we are going to measure very large distances. So this is one point of observation, this is another point of observation, and the distance between the 2 points of observation is known as basis. I have written here once, let us see. Left eye is one point of observation, right eye is another point of observation. Distance between 2 points of observation, that is distance between 2 eyes, is called basis, and that is represented by small b. And see here, this is the distance is b, no? This b is proportionate to this distance. This distance is proportionate to this distance. You might have learned in your geometry congruent triangles. This triangle and this triangle, these are congruent triangles. All the 3 sides of this triangle are proportionate to the 3 sides of this triangle respectively. If you take the ratio will be same. Okay. Next, angle. See here, theta angle. This angle is called parallax angle or parallactic angle. Now you got some idea what is parallax. So making use of this knowledge, let us go to the method of measuring very large distances. There is a solved example. Example 2.2. A man wishes to estimate the distance of a nearby tower from him. He stands at a point A in front of the tower C and spots a very distant object O in line with AC. He then walks perpendicular to AC up to B, a distance of 100 meters, and looks at O and C again. Since O is very distant, the direction BO is practically the same as AO, but he finds the line of sight of C shifted from the original line of sight by an angle theta is equal to 40 degrees. Theta is known as parallax. Estimate the distance of the tower C from his original position A. So this is his original position A. First he has, see at point C the tower is there. Here is the tower. Okay. Now initially you are at A point, and here a tower. This is the tip of the top of a tower. C point is top of a tower, and you are standing at A. Okay. Now standing at A, you see the top of the tower and a distance object. Both are in the same line. They are coinciding. So you have chosen this point such that top of tower and a distant object both coincide. In that way you have chosen this point. Okay, what can be the distant object? The best distant object is moon. See, you can see the moon in the evening also. And suppose it is on top of your head, or suppose it is in the west direction. You move from one place to another place. From Basar to Nizamabad you go. That moon will be found in the same position, making the same angle. It seems as if when you are walking, the moon is too walking with you. It is moving along with you, it seems. No? So the reason is, see, the position doesn't change even though you have traveled some 20-30 kilometers of distance. It will be seen in the same position. The reason is, it is very far away. It is very far away. So, okay, such a distant object must be chosen, and the top of tower and the distant object both are coinciding at position A, at point A. Now, you moved from this point A to point B, some 100 meters away, and you reached point B. Again, you looked at the distant object. See, suppose the distant object is in the west direction, again you will find the distant object in the west direction only. But tower is not like that, because tower is not so far away. That's why you find tower in this direction. So now you can measure what angle the top of the tower making with this. And this angle was found to be some 40 degrees. Okay. Now, making use of this distance and this angle, you are going to find the distance of the tower. How? Very easy. See, you have some geometrical knowledge. These two are parallel lines, and this is the transverse line, and these two angles are called alternate angles. And if these two are parallel lines, the alternate angles will be equal. If this is 40 degrees, this also 40 degrees. This also 40 degrees. Now, if you write tan theta, if you write tan theta, opposite by adjacent. What is opposite to theta? AB. What is adjacent to theta? CA. AB is known 100 meters. CA is to be determined, that is the distance of the tower from you. So from this we get D is equal to 100 by tan theta, and angle you measured 40 degrees, 100 by tan 40 degrees, that is equal to 119 meters. So using parallax method you could find distance of a tower. Now let us go through solved example 2.3. The moon is observed from two diametrically opposite points A and B on Earth. The angle theta subtended at the moon by the two directions of observation is 1 degree 54 minutes. Given the diameter of the Earth to be about 1.276 into 10 power 7 meters, compute the distance of the moon from the Earth. Okay, with a diagram we can understand very well. This is the diagram. This is the diagram. This is Earth. You know very well Earth is not complete sphere, it is ellipsoid. Okay. And this is the equator or diameter of the Earth. See what is given here? This moon is observed from, if this is a diameter, this is one point of observation, this is another point of observation, and these 2 points are diametrically opposite. From A you are looking at the moon and you measured angle theta 1, and coming to the point B, the another end of the diameter, you looked at the moon again and you measured the angle of inclination theta 2, and this is nothing but a triangle, and you know very well that in a triangle the sum of the three angles is 180 degrees. So if these two angles are known, this angle can be measured. So theta is equal to 180 minus theta 1 plus theta 2. So in this way we can find this angle theta. What is this angle? This angle theta is called parallax angle. Parallax angle. And see, from our Earth, moon is very far away. Very far away. And see the distance between A and B, just now we said this is the diameter of Earth, and its diameter value is given in our problem. What is the diameter of Earth? B is equal to 1.276 into 10 power 7 meter. Diameter is given. Now what is asked? The distance of the moon is asked. Actually distance means this is the distance. This is the distance. But since it is very far away, this value almost same. So if you find this value or this value, that is enough. So capital D value is asked. With knowledge of what? With knowledge of the diameter of the Earth and this angle. This angle is given. How much this angle? 1 degree 54 minutes. So theta is given. Here B value is given. So making use of these two readings, how we can find the distance of the moon? See, for this triangle, AB is a straight line. You see, AB is visible to you as a straight line. But compared to D, this B is very small, that you know very well. B is very smaller than capital D. This B value is very small, very smaller than this capital D. So that this straight line can be replaced by an arc. This can be replaced by an arc. What is arc? Arc is nothing but a part of circumference of circle. Yes or no? Yes. Now this becomes a sector. Now safely a triangle here, in this case, a triangle can be approximated as a sector. And if this is approximated as a sector, how we define angle in radians? Let me write here. Angle in radian is equal to arc by radius. Angle in radians. See here, this is theta, arc is B value, and radius is nothing but capital D. Radius is nothing but capital D. Arc is B value and radius is capital D. Now, what you want? Capital D is asked now. So, from this, capital D is equal to B by theta. Making use of this formula, you can find the distance of the moon. Okay, let us take theta value. Theta is equal to 1 degree 54 minutes. 1 degree means 60 minutes and extra 54 minutes. So 114 minutes. Previously, in the solved example, we calculated what we calculated. Or you can do one thing. So this angle theta is now in minutes. No, you can convert this into seconds. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. 114 minutes is equal to how many seconds? 114 by 1 into 60 is equal to how much we get? 6840 seconds. But we know that 1 second is equal to 4.85 into 10 power minus 6 radian. If 1 radian is equal to this much, this you can memorize. 1 second is equal to 4.85 10 power minus 6 radians. So here how much you are having? 6840 seconds is equal to how many radians? 6840 by 1 into 4.85 into 10 power minus 6. That is equal to 3.32 into 10 power minus 2 radians. So ultimately you converted the given angle. So the given angle is in degrees and minutes, and that is being converted into radians. Now theta value is in radians. So you can use this formula only when theta is in radians. Okay. Now capital D. Capital D is equal to B. B value 1.85 276 into 10 power 7 divided by theta value 3.32 into 10 power minus 2. That is equal to 3.84 into 10 power 8 meters. So you may say, sir, I may forget that 1 second is equal to 4.85 into 10 to the power of minus 6 radians. How, sir? No problem. See, here you converted 1 degree 54 minutes into, see, 1 degree means 60 minutes and extra 54 minutes. So in all, how much you got? 114 minutes now? Now what you can do? See, theta is equal to 114 minutes. If you divide this by 60, you get in degrees. Okay. Now you know very well that pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. This is a well-known equation, well-known relation. Pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. Now 114 by 60 degrees is equal to how many radians? 114 by 60 into 1 by 180 into pi means what? 3.14. So solving this, you can get the answer. Okay, now we could find the distance of the moon making use of simple definition of radian. Angle in radian is defined as ratio between arc length and radius length. So making use of this simple equation, you could find the distance of the moon. Now let us go for another solved example 2.4. Let me read. The sun's angular diameter is measured to be 1920 seconds. The distance d of the sun from the earth is 1.496 into 10 power 11 meters. What is the diameter of the sun? See, being far away from sun, you are able to find the diameter of the sun. Very amazing, no? And that was made possible making use of parallax method. How? Let us see. Look at this diagram. This is Earth. On surface of Earth, you are at point O. And sun is here. Capital D distance away from you. Its diameter is B. What all you have to do is, standing at O, you should look at left edge of its diameter, that is A point. You look at the A point, you focus at the, you making use of a telescope. See, you should not look at sun directly, no. It is very dangerous to look at sun directly. So what you should do? You should make use of filter. That is, the block glass plates are available. See, or when during solar eclipse time, they make use of exposed films. The films are dark, which are exposed to light and washed in the chemical. See, you must have seen X-ray film. See, whenever we have a fracture, we get that part X-rayed. See, wherever it is exposed to light, it is dark. So, a film exposed to sunlight will be dark. So, such film can be used. It is used as a filter. It filters all the sun rays and you can safely see the sun as a rounded object, as a ball. Now, so this is the diameter of that sun ball and you should focus on point A. you should be making use of a telescope along this line of sight. And when your telescope is focused to point A, then you keep it fixed and measure the angle theta 2. So this is the angle made by the horizontal plane. The horizontal plane, from the horizontal plane, this line of sight is making how much angle? Theta 2. So you measure this angle theta 2. Now you move the telescope from this position to this position. Now you look at the diametrically opposite point, that is B. And when your telescope is it is focused to point B, now you measure angle theta 1, angle the horizontal plane makes, the angle made by this line of sight with horizontal, that is theta 1. So once you measure theta 1 and theta 2, theta can be found because this is a horizontal plane, this is a straight line, you know very well. Around the point, so this is called straight angle, and the straight angle is 180 degrees. So adding these two and subtracting from 180 degrees, you get this theta angle. So in this way, experimentally you can find theta angle. So making use and this is the capital D, this is small b. How many variables are there? Theta value, capital D, small b. Out of the three values, if two are given, the third one can be determined. Now let us look at the problem, what is given and what is asked. The sun's angular diameter is measured to be 1920 seconds. Angular diameter is given. This angular diameter is given. Theta is equal to 1920 seconds. Angular diameter is given. The distance capital D of the sun from the earth is 1.496 10 power 11. Capital D is given. Given. So you can easily find B value. What is asked? Let us see. What is the diameter of the sun? So what is the diameter of the sun? That is asked. See again the same thing. Since the sun is far away, this triangle can be safely approximated to a sector. And when it becomes sector, see this straight line AB diameter becomes an arc. And OA and OB become radius of the circle. So again what we write? Angle in radian is equal to